Today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make some wonderful tiles using your aluminium cans. So easy to do, and they come out looking great, and you can put some details in them as well. If you haven't seen the video on how to get your cans all nice and flat, then I'll link that at the end of this one because it's well worth doing. I mean, look how lovely and flat those are, and they're all drinks cans. Why not upcycle them into something really beautiful? So first thing I have is a couple of blocks of wood, and I know that these are cut to a certain size, and you can choose your own size. These ones are going to be more like subway tiles, and these ones are going to be small tiles, but you can make them as large as the piece of can that you've got will allow. So for instance, this one, if I had a bigger cut out here, then I could probably get a really big tile, but I don't want that. I want to get some smaller tiles out of this. So all I do to start with is I kind of level it up so I've got the same amount of gap going round each side. I try and go for about 1 centimetre around the whole thing. And that's the bit that I want to turn over. So what I'll do is I'll put my ruler there, and I know that I've got 1 centimetre there, and push it there to get 1 centimetre there. Yeah, that's right. Now all I need to do is keep this on this line that I've drawn, and get 1 centimetre there. Draw around that as well. Draw around all the sides like that, and then measure out 1 centimetre on all the sides. Now I'm doing this by eye, but you can do it exactly as you want to. So I know my piece of wood goes in there like that, and these are going to be the edges, and then I want to cut this out as neat as I possibly can, like that. So what I'll have is I'll have lots of pieces ready to make tiles with, like that. Now for the larger one, these are the smaller cans that I get. This kind of works for me virtually right every time. Do the same thing, and then draw around that, and then cut them so I've got the same amount of lip. I always go for 1 centimetre, and I mean, you go for whatever you want to go for, because that way I know if I'm going to use the different size tiles in one project, they're still the same depth. Now that I've got my cans all marked out, and I know this is going to be the actual size, and those are going to be the rims, what I need to do is just cut the corners, and I just line them up like this, and cut out a little square in each corner. All I do is line my scissors up with that line that's going up here, there, that one there, and the same going across to where that corner is, and then just cut those corners out. And I do that all the way around on all of them. Try not to go deeper than where your line is, so don't cut into here if you can avoid it. Sometimes it's hard to avoid it. I do it all the time. But it's best if you don't. It makes a better tile. I just did it on that one. And I'll do exactly the same for all these and these larger ones. Now, there's two different ways that I actually put a pattern on these, and you don't even have to put a pattern on them if you don't want. I do it where the metal is showing like this, or I do it where the black is showing. I mean, normally I would have done this one round the other way, but I just wanted to kind of show you, and it's easy to do that. Whatever pattern you choose, all you need to do is get something like this. This is a firm bit of packaging sponge, and I use ball stylus for this. So, for instance, that pattern I've just drawn there. Now, you could draw it on first, so you know exactly where you want your pattern to go, but I kind of like the rustic feel of them not having the pattern on. All I do is I push down into the can like this with my large ball stylus. So if you wanted them all the same, exactly the same pattern or exactly the same shape, then just make a little template. I do that, I put a couple of wiggles in them, then I do some dots all the way around that are random, and then I take a thinner ball stylus like this one, and that's where I put the veins in the leaf. And then you can turn it over and you can see that that is in there for the Dr. Pepper. And then if I wanted to do the other way, I won't do it with the tango one. I quite like that tango one. I'll probably leave that one without any indent. So for that one, I'll do it on this side. Now I know where my edges are going to be, so that's absolutely fine. I know as long as I don't go beyond those edges, then I'm going to be okay. I put my flowers in. I'm going to do a few extra leaves on this one, like that. Turn it over and I know what that looks like now. Now I'm going to put some wiggle bits in, coming from here, quite like that. And then put my little veins in, like this. So that would be the pattern that I did on that. I think I need just a couple more dots in this top corner. Oh yeah, that's a bit better. So now I've got them that way over or that way over. And you can do whatever pattern you want. You don't have to have the same pattern as I have. I just like that sort of organic look to it. To get the actual edges of the tile, to give it a bit of depth. And there is another stage after this. I just fold them over and lightly, you don't want to split the can, lightly tap with a rubber mallet. But very lightly. You don't need to do very much at all to that. And that's why we cut those corners out as well. because now we've got a nice shape. And this is why you don't want to cut too far along, because it will encourage it to split. I've already done that on a couple. Then all I do is put it back on my block and then lightly tap that round till it's in the shape that I want it. And that gives you your tile. Now, there's no weight to that at the moment, so that's going to be very difficult to do anything with. So I'm going to show you how to do that. The next stage is to seal these up. And as you can see, I need to seal these corners up, and if any of it is split anywhere. And I find the best thing for this is actually hot glue. What I found is the hot glue works really well on the metal, and it gives your next stage something as well to grip onto, which is really useful. I'll go around and I'll seal all the corners like this, and if I've split any, I will also seal them. The other thing you can do, if you don't want to make tiles out of them, is you can keep them flat and cut that out there and put it in your cards or other decorations or on boxes and things. I've used this technique in a lot of different ways other than making tiles with them, but I just really like the tiles. And then once all my corners are sealed up, what I do is I just go in here with a little bit of glue. As I said, it does help the next stage to really grip onto there, and put just some lines of glue in there like that. And I'll go around and I'll do all of them before I do the next stage to make them nice and solid and really got a bit of weight to them. In this bucket, what I've got is equal parts of a white sand and a white cement. I don't want it too sloppy because I want to be able to push this in with my hands, but I do want it a bit wetter than that. So I don't want it sloppy like a casting material or anything like that. I just want it wet enough to be able to really set nice and hard. And you get quite a lot of working time with this. I will let these dry overnight. So I actually want that a little bit drier than that. So I'm just going to add a little bit more of the cement powder in. Yeah, that should be fine. And now all I have to do is fill these up. Now they're not going to leak, hopefully, because we put the white glue in. And this will stick in there quite well. And we want to fill them up till they're level with the top. And then once we've filled them up, we'll just give them a couple of taps like this, and then they will level out. And now we've got those like that, all I'm going to do is leave these overnight to set up, and then I'll come back and I'll show you what they look like tomorrow morning, and you'll see how nice and rigid they are, and they've got a nice bit of weight to them. So now we've got them finished. I really like them. I think they come out great. And they look lovely. And you could put them onto things or just have them on the wall or use them as plaques. I like this technique for both using it as a 3D thing or something that's 2D. It does look, I think, a lot better on the silver side than on the coloured side. But it depends what you're really looking for. These will clean up lovely. They've got like a little plastic film all over them anyway. And you can feel that film. So they'll just wipe over. If you've got any bits of cement on there, they'll just wipe over really easily with a baby wipe or a cloth. Look at that, comes up lovely. That's just something different to do with your cans once you've flattened them. Let me know what you think or what you use your cans for in the comments below. This is such an easy method of using up your cans. It's well worth doing. Be sure to check out the video that I've got coming up next. I think you'll love that. Hit the like button as well and the subscribe button, and share this video as much as you can because I'm trying to grow this channel a little bit more now. Everything I've used today in the description below. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.